and we'll make it available online for future viewing if you or somebody else isn't able to watch it right now. And we will send out a copy of the slide deck as well with the follow-up email that gets sent out in a day or two. For Q&A, we're going to use the Q&A function built into Zoom. There'll be a little Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Click on that at any point and you can type in a question as it comes up. We will go through the presentation, talk a little bit about Zamboni and their products, and then once that's wrapped up, we'll do the Q&A with the Zamboni team. So with that, I will hand it off.
Thank you very much, Tanner. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining Marty and myself. Marty and myself are both responsible for sales in Ontario. And then with us, we also have Doug Peters, our regional sales manager out of the US. So main benefit of group purchasing with the machines, pardon me, there we go, is it saves an enormous amount of time. Quite often these machines are, where we run in a breakdown business, machines are often put to the test when they get to that 8, 9, 10-year-old range when things could start to fail and they're still met with the demand of a full busy rink, a full busy schedule. Traditionally our machines, the lead time on them is anywhere between 9 and 10 months. With the standard RFP process, they are quite lengthy. It could be the bid could be issued and then 3 weeks to submit it, and then it could be another month till we get the results, and then a few more weeks for a purchase order. So those 2 to 3 months could immediately be expedited by kind of taking advantage of this cooperative purchasing. We've been able to coordinate the receive a purchase order within hours with going back and forth with the customer versus the multi-week normal standard process. Another major benefit to the system is facility managers can work directly with us to identify what their facility especially needs. The machines seem quite simple as something that can carry a lot of water and can collect a lot of snow shavings, but there are drastic differences between various facilities and what a facility will need for each machine. This can offer savings from having to then add something that was originally missed or something that is something that operators do require. So with cooperative purchase procurement, it's, I don't want to say the middleman is removed, but the machine that is received is the machine that the operators have themselves have kind of specified. Marty, from your experience, what's something that a facility would require that might get missed in the procurement process, the standard procurement process?
Yeah, it's a great question, Scott. And we do see it a lot because in a lot of situations, municipalities, the fleet departments are purchasing the actual machine. And sometimes we identify there's a gap in communication between the fleet division and the Parks and Rec division. Some things as simple as tire wash that the operators and the arena managers of Parks and Rec will identify. That's definitely something, but it's missed on the actual tender or the bid process. So allowing us to be able to communicate with the parties involved, both Parks and Rec, and bring that communication together with the fleet department, if they're the ones that are purchasing the equipment, the capital expenditure, we can work with them through that process. And through the cooperative procurement program, we have all these things listed. So it's kind of detailing it for both parties on the municipal side, on the public sector side. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, one thing that is a benefit of the cooperative procurement, in addition to the value saving, the national value pricing, is we are often limited to what we can respond on a tender. If the spec in the RFP doesn't require a tire wash, unfortunately, we don't put it into the price because we're not sure that it needs to go on that particular machine. So having the one-on-one direct conversations with the facility staff, we're able to identify everything that that facility will need to ensure that they're having that machine operate to the most efficient way possible. Because these machines, they're built to last they're built to last for quite a while, but they're put, the municipal life cycle is typically around 8 to 12 years. So a mistake in a tender could ultimately be a decision that lasts the life of the machine in that facility, which could be quite a while. One of the main benefits to you, the consumer, is you have the benefit of national value pricing. The machines, they can get up there in price, so taking advantage of that group buying sale price is a tremendous resource for you. And again, the time and money saving writing one of these specifications that really ensures that you receive everything you need is quite valuable. We have had some specifications come in the past and they're asking for off-road 4x4 suspension. It seemed as though it was a cut and paste job that filling it out, we had submitted quite a few questions just asking them to clarify. Some are tremendously well written, but that took a tremendous amount of time to ensure that they are purchasing what they need. And ultimately, it comes down to just having operators who are driving the machine, putting that quality sheet of ice. So many municipalities invest the time and money into providing their community, versus allowing them to have the tool that they require, that they would like, and that they're able to use for as long as possible. So in addition to the main benefits of the group procurement process, we'll kind of get into some of our products we have. We can circle back to any questions that do come up, but we'll just kind of dig into what we do have available for products and what we are kind of striving towards to offer our customers. So the main kind of thing, the main topic that we've seen recently in Ontario is the emergence of the electric machine. We've been offering lead acid machines for decades now. Now we're starting to move into lithium-ion. The main difference is the lead acid batteries, they hold more resurfaces per a standard charge. However, you are required to perform battery maintenance, and the charging is not quite as simple as the lithium-ion where you can plug and play. The lithium-ion the maintenance-free batteries of the lithium-ion just comes at a cost of not holding the number of charges as the lead acid can hold. However, the lithium-ion still has everything you will require for your standard floods and your ice maintenances. And then the charge time is the big difference between the two as well. Lithium-ion, if you're doing a 10, 15-minute flood, 20, 30 minutes, you're back up to a full charge. Whereas lead acid, you can opportunity charge throughout the day, but your big charge, similar to a CNG fill system, comes overnight. Now, Marty, we've got quite a few lithium-ion machines in Ontario now. I know Marty is our trainer within Ontario, heads on the road, and quite often I'm in the office as Marty's doing the training on the road, so we're able to assist everyone within the province. Marty's kind of wanted your operators' experience with lithium-ion once they get on the machine.
Yeah, it's been a great experience, Scott. A lot of the audience that's partaking in this webinar today, they've seen me in their facilities. Just to go back and talk a little bit more about the what I want to say the Green Initiative plans for municipalities, specifically in Ontario. That's where the topic that we're coming from is talking about the Green Initiative with our actual ice resurfacers or Zambonis. In Ontario, it's starting to take a big step. Within the last 24 months, we introduced the Model 450 lithium-ion to the Ontario market, to all our markets actually, going back into 2017. And it's slowly creeping up, it's ticking away, and more municipalities are taking the initiative due to their own standards of what their expectations are to move over to a green initiative. And we're able to support that with both our traditional lead acid machines, AC machines, but more so with our new lithium-ion machines, both our 450, which is produced out of our Brantford plant in Ontario, and then we have a 552 AC lithium-ion that's produced out of our Paramount, California plant. So specifically facilities and municipalities in Ontario that's taken the initiative. Collingwood was our first customer for lithium-ion, both their facilities in Collingwood, Ontario, followed by Aurelia, Ontario, for their Rotary Club up there with Paul and Jason. And we're moving into other major municipalities throughout tender and bid processes the traditional way, which is a little different than what the audience is here to listen to as far as the procurement program through LAS.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Marty. Even in the last 2 years, the amount of requests we've seen for electric machine pricing has almost doubled to tripled. At first, a few years ago, it was just some basic pricing information. Now we're seeing fuel pricing costed with electric pricing, and some even straight electric pricing. So it really seems that Ontario's been kind of slow compared to other markets. Quebec and British Columbia, for instance, within Canada, have been largely electric over the past few decades. But Ontario is starting to trend that direction.
And if I can just step in, sorry, Scott, if I can just step in and talk one more thing about our initiative with lithium-ion to the audience. The precedence of lead-acid batteries, the challenge in the industry from the operations side has been the maintenance of the batteries. And I think, Scott, you did mention this, but I want to emphasize this to our audience. The lithium-ion is a zero maintenance battery. Your operators have nothing to do with the batteries. You can't even access the batteries. So any customers out there that are traditional fill stations with CNG, they're actually doing the same process, but they're plugging in a charger into the batteries. So there's no equalized charging. There's no opportunity charging on a weekly basis. This is a plug and play machine. And producing the same results that the machine, from a fossil fuel standpoint, to be able to deliver the results to your customers is definitely a big win for your operations and your fleet department moving forward.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marty. Now we're just going to kind of go into some of our products that help to reduce energy costs while still creating and even enhancing the benefits of a superior sheet of ice to the consumers within the communities. So the way I met Marty first was with Level Ice. Marty was with LATEC prior to joining us at Zamboni. The Level Ice option has been the one that stands out the most for me in terms of the take rate on it and the inquiries we do get. It just takes the guessing game out of what you're doing with the blade, whether you're turning it up or down. Staff or facilities that have part-time staff on the weekends, you're not having to worry about losing your crease, losing your lines. Just it kind of maintains that 1.5 to 2 inches that you set it for. Really takes that out. I know Marty's on the road quite a lot training with it, and I could pick his brain for hours on the topic, but for the sake of time, I got a little timer here. Something that we are kind of striving towards through this pandemic is we've started a podcast, and we've started a lot of social media work in terms of kind of gathering testimonials from customers. I just got a little testimonial here on the screen that these results from these products, some guys will just say, oh yeah, we're saving a lot of time, but there are some customers out there that have translated that to a tangible figure of what their savings are. And these dollar figures that they're able to save using the product, with the addition of ease for their staff, or if they have part-time staff, that less maintenance when it comes to ice maintenance day is really quite something. Marty, I can't do the presentation without giving you a little quick spot for Level Ice. So if I could ask you to kind of keep it short, but if you can, but we'll quickly move on.
By all means, let's emphasize that all the options that Scott's going to go through in the next slides, they're all available on our lithium-ion battery machines and also on our fossil fuels. So I just wanted to emphasize that. Yeah, folks, I know some people in the audience have experienced this option, Level Ice, and have had great success with it, from training as far as new staff coming on board and delivering quality ice to their customer base. It's a win. It's a game changer, and I know a lot of people can talk to that. I think some of the people that were guests of ours, Justin Fiddler out of Camoga, Dylan Learn, Budweiser Gardens, and Randy Shaw out of Forest, Ontario, are all customers of the Level Ice system and speak highly of it, and it's been a success for them. So I encourage the audience that's listening to take the opportunity to reach out to these individuals if you haven't already, and speak further to them as well about their success stories with that specific option.
We also have the option for you guys to listen to what their experiences are with the system. We have Marty was able to put together a Level Ice podcast and just had a quick fireside discussion with these guys about their experiences with the system. So feel free to check that out, have a quick listen. And then if we have quite a few other ones on there as well, if you have the time, quite a lot of information, some amazing industry characters that are on the show, and they're tremendous job our team's done to kind of, in the little lull in the pandemics that allowed us to create this. Similar to the level ice, instead of cutting ice, we have a fast ice system that takes the guesswork of how much ice you're putting down, or how much water you're putting down to build the ice back up. We're really putting a strive towards having a neutral resurface. What you're cutting is what you're putting down, all towards striving to maintain your ice as possible, or as close as possible for your user groups. The fast ice system just atomizes the water as it sprays. It allows the ice to set up faster. It just takes the guesswork out. It's speed controlled, so it slows down in the corners, so you're not going to build your corners up. Marty, I'll give you a few seconds here, just kind of from your training with the fast ice system.
Yeah, definitely. So the combination of both fast ice and level ice working together side by side, and some facilities have both options. I know from the municipality side, energy efficiencies are critical. I mean, for every dollar that comes into a municipality, Parks and Rec get 9 cents. That's the average. And out of that, it's 50% goes to arenas, to operate arenas. So the more we can save the operating costs for the arenas in operating their facility, specifically the refrigeration plant, running the compressors, and maintaining the quality ice. This is a game changer combination, level ice and fast ice, typically between 27 and 36 month ROI on these two options, which is a win-win for both capital expenditure and also operating costs moving forward. Fast ice has definitely been a huge benefit for our customer base that are using it. I think now we have probably, I want to say, and Doug, you can step in on this one on the state side, but I want to say we have at least a dozen between the NHL stadium facilities and their practice facilities using fast ice in combination with level ice. Would I be correct in saying that, Doug?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate, Marty. It's something that has taken off, and as people see what it can do for improving the quality of the ice, it has been a feature that more and more facilities are considering.
Fantastic. Thank you guys both. Kind of the last thing we also want to talk on today for making sure that those municipal dollars that you are allocated stretch as far as possible. Something we do have on our machines is Zamboni Connect. Zamboni Connect is a information-based, it pulls information from the machine in terms of speed, ice making water, and puts it onto a web-based app that you can access on your phone, tablet, or your laptop. You can see that it captures some data, and it's a tremendous training tool for new operators or for maintenance or staff or fleet that are looking at the machines just to see if everything's running optimally. Engine fault codes are sent to it. And then one of the most tremendous parts of the system, I feel, is though, if there are new operators, they have data available to them that they're able to see what they're doing different in versus operators who have a tremendous understanding of the machine. This can allow for just consistent floods throughout a weekend or as the season goes on. Sometimes you can tell someone that they're putting down too much water, but they might not exactly know. Just bump it down a little each time, but this can actually show them what floods are producing. And then just making sure the community members in the municipalities are offered the best quality sheet of ice. It's a tremendous tool for both the operators themselves, all the way up to management, up to fleet, just to make sure that the machine is performing optimally. Something quickly we're also noticing is the tremendous push towards electric ice edgers. Fuel-powered ice edgers are still being produced, but the proportion is quickly going from fuel to electric, now quickly coming electric to fuel. Combustion engines in the indoor ice arenas is quickly starting to be replaced with electric, and then just with the edger we have now, there's not any real difference in terms of operation for staff. Because if we were pushing daily, we've tried to create an edger that allows operators to want to edge daily or just do a quick buzz around the end of their shift. Something else that we're very proud of here at Zamboni, I know I'm quickly tight on time at the moment, is our after-sale service. With our machines, we don't want our customers to purchase a machine and then wait to get in contact with us. We operate in a breakdown business where parts need to be there, and they need to be there as fast as possible. With our parts department and our service department, we're always just a phone call away, an email. We have a tremendous amount of resource. Both our parts and service departments have over 30 years with our machines built within Brantford. They're always willing to share information. I know sometimes pre-pandemic, our service department was hosting kind of workshops in our facility, especially to kind of go over the conditioner, the main part, the bread and butter of our machines that kind of make them different from other tractors, trucks, what other fleet vehicles that are out there. It's knowledge that we don't want to keep to ourselves. We'd love to share it. We'd love to make sure staff and anyone who's willing to learn, wants to learn, it's available to them. And then something else that we're really pushing, and tremendous job Marty has done so far and continues to do, is on-site training. Marty's on the road quite a lot doing training at different facilities, whether it's level ice, whether it's machine startup, or just an operator overview of the machine, just kind of giving them making sure see what they're doing, tips and tricks. I know, Marty, you're out there quite a lot on the road putting miles in, but if you just kind of want to give a quick example or quick summation of your experiences with customers.
Yeah, you know, folks, I look at this as added value. At the end of the day, we can deliver a machine, but with the changes in the marketplace, with the municipalities, the retention, a lot of retiring taking place in the Parks and Rec, a lot of new hires are happening, and new hires are learning from experience. Might not be the right, might be, but at the end of the day, we recognize that there's a gap that's missing, and we're bringing that added value to your team, and that's where I spend the time with municipalities and their Parks and Rec and their operators, and just giving them that extra understanding of how to be not a driver, to be an operator, and the due diligence and a steward of that $100,000+ machine, so that it maintains its value over the life cycle of the machine. And one of the other things I wanted to add, Scott, as well, when it comes back to our sales and service, we've been doing this pre-COVID, and we'll be coming back to it post-COVID. One of the services we offer for fleet departments, I speak to anyone in the audience that's part of the fleet department, we'll actually bring your technicians in. We do it twice a month on Fridays, and have them spend a whole day with our service technicians and understand everything that's going on with the back end of the actual ice resurfacer, speaking to the conditioner, so they have more understanding of what's going on when the machine comes from the arena to the fleet department. They can actually troubleshoot it, work it, and get that rectified at a cost savings as well, and get it back to the arena as quick as possible, and repair it as well the proper way.
Fantastic. Speaking of troubleshooting tips and tricks, our social media team has done a tremendous job on all platforms. On the YouTube platform, for example, we also have quite a few tips and trick videos for troubleshooting things such as down pressure, board brush replacement, anything operators might need to know, anything that service technicians might need to know. We're just trying to share as much information as we can, make it available 24/7. On our website, we have a tremendous amount of resources available for our machines. All of our parts manuals are online. And then we're just an ever expanding library. Our social media team has got the feel for it now, and they are producing some tremendous content that really we're getting quite a lot of good feedback from customers. I was in a facility not that long ago, and they said, "Oh, I was watching how to do that on YouTube the other day while I was some downtime at work." And it's really catching on, and we really believe that the passing of information to new staff that are starting, they're going to be starting on the right foot, and they will have a successful career ahead of them, and we'll do everything we can to support them on their way. That was the fastest 15 minutes I've probably had in a little while. Tanner, I apologize for going over. That's kind of the last of our slides, and we'd love to answer some questions or anything you may have for us.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. We're going to hand off the Q&A in a minute to Ainsley to moderate that one. But just before we get to there, I want to remind everybody that we have a couple of webinars coming up. we'll be showcasing CDW on November 18th and fire equipment like bunker gear and that type of thing on December 2nd. And I'll send links for those webinars in the email that's going to be coming to you in the next day or two. So with that, I'll hand it off to Ainsley.
Great. Thanks, Tanner, and thank you, Scott and Marty, for that informative discussion. So before we get into Q&As, I just wanted to again thank you all for your time, for taking time out of your busy schedule to participate in this webinar. Remember, Tanner and myself are here to support our members and providing continued services at this time. So I do encourage you to reach out to either of us to set up a meeting or a conference call with your team so we can review all your unique procurement requirements, and I can outline our program in further detail. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the questions that have come through, and we'll do our best to answer them. So one of the questions was, what will be the benefit of purchasing via LAS over the traditional way? Is there a fee cost associated with using LAS? I can answer that from an LAS standpoint, and then I'll get maybe Scott or Marty to just add in about the Zamboni part. But yeah, as Tanner mentioned at the beginning, obviously we do bulk purchasing, so it saves you time and money on everyday purchases. We've done that tendering process on your behalf, so you don't have to. So that saves you 250 hours of admin time that you put out an RFP. And you know that's being done correctly because we followed all the regulations set forth by CFTA and CETA. So we're trade compliant and we're doing this on behalf of our members. So it definitely saves you time and money because we can usually negotiate better prices than you could on your own if you go into tender. So there's the cost savings, there's the time savings. That's kind of the benefit of our program in a nutshell. But I'll get maybe Marty or Scott to maybe just add in about the Zamboni part and cost savings and value added portion.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, so no cost to use the system to purchase a Zamboni. The only thing that is there is savings for the customer. As Ainsley said, you're able to take advantage of national pricing volume discount that traditionally is not available in the RFP process. And while this also allows you to kind of remove a low bid that goes to council. So you're able to get the machine that you want, you're able to work with us to make sure we're building what your operators require, what your facility requires in terms of size, and just have the best fit for you. And then we're able to kind of spend more time with going back and forth with the customer to ensure that they do end up with the machine that they want and not the machine that was just sent through an RFP. And our hands are tied as to what we can offer in terms of options for the particular end experience that the operators get their hands on.
Great. Yeah, and from an LAS standpoint, there's no fee or cost associated with using the program if you're a member. But yeah, definitely there's those cost savings that can and value added propositions through our program. So for the next question is coming from, let's see, does LAS support bulk purchase for other electronic vehicles in addition to Zamboni? Not that I'm aware of, Tanner, unless you wanted to add something to that. But
yeah, we don't directly source vehicles. I'm assuming you're talking about EVs as alternatives to conventional fleet vehicles. We are able to help source vehicles for fleets through our enterprise fleet management program. And if that's something that you'd like to take a look at, just send an email to either myself or Ainsley and we can give you a little bit more information about how that one works.
Great. And the other question that came through was, through LAS buying, is there incentive or benefit to purchasing green machines over fuel, as the cost of electric has generally been more expensive?
Yeah, do you want to take that, Scott?
By all means, it's all yours.
Yeah, so great question coming in from one of our audience members. Paul, it actually, the discount that we give is the same whether it's fossil fuel or a green machine, electric machine. What I will tell you though, through our analysis that we've identified, the tenure on average over a 10-year period of a machine, the cost savings from electric to fossil fuel, there's considerable savings from an operating cost. So, and by all means, reach out to us and we can talk to you further about supplying that information to you that we've been able to create through spreadsheets. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, sorry, Marty, just quickly building off that. We do have an Excel sheet that we were able to send out. It has some user-defined fields that need to be put in, similar to what you're paying for your bottle of propane or CNG, or what you're paying kind of kilowatt hour. And you're able to kind of plug those informations in with the machine pricing between electric and fuel, and it will do a kind of a cost calculation to see what that turnover rate will be in terms of the cost savings for electric over the life cycle of the machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Another question that came through, they were saying that they realize LES does the procurement process on behalf of municipalities, but does LES work directly with municipal procurement staff or fleet on specific development, i.e. for specific components or machine add-ons? I know that we do for a lot of suppliers, but maybe Marty and Scott will get you to answer from your perspective for Zamboni.
Yeah, so I know that Scott, being in the office, he's dealing directly with our customers that are coming through the LAS program for specific options that they want on the machine. So I continue to emphasize that our customers that are looking at utilizing the LAS program to reach out to us. We'll be able to provide you a proposal with the discounted pricing through the LAS program that is offered, whether you're in the south with Tanner or up in the north with Ainsley. I think that answers that, does it not, Scott?
Yep, I was just gonna kind of mention that over the course of one afternoon a few months ago, I was able to sell a machine in four hours. We were able to kind of go back and forth. They wanted to add this. They were gathered their staff, went through the options list. We had a few phone conversations explaining what each does. Provided them a few facilities nearby where they were able to kind of go see the options on the machine, drive it. And then we're just kind of able to customize the machine via phone calls, emails. If they needed an updated quote, we're able to quickly do that and provide it. And then all while just mentioning the LIS contract number on that quotation. Then they were then able to take it to purchasing, and then they were able to have a purchase order sent over. So it's a very customized process for whatever machine that you are trying to get your hands on. We're always willing just to add different quotations, put anything together for you guys, because these machines are made to order. There's no standard stock machine. Every facility is different, and we just want to make sure that you're getting the machine that you will love for the next 10, 12 years of its life.
Great. Yeah, that's a good example. And yeah, just to add a bit more to that, yeah, LAS can definitely work with your procurement staff or fleet staff, whatever your department may be, to look at specs and quotes and different add-ons for equipment for all of our programs, including, electric vehicles through like Enterprise, as Tanner noted. So definitely reach out to us if you have questions about that. Another question we have for Zamboni is, what is the life expectancy of the LITHIum batteries? I might not be saying that right, but I think you're...
So the life expectancy, I believe it's lithium-ion. The life expectancy of lithium-ion batteries is the life of the machine. Typically within that 8 to 10 year municipal life cycle, that would be the point where the batteries are starting to needing to be replaced. However, with lithium-ion, they are cells that you are able to replace. So if there is one cell that is worse than the others, it's a quick, simple module replacement versus having to replace the 800, 900 pound battery trays that's traditionally been in lead acid. But we are quickly going to see in the 8 to 10 year mark, it'll simply probably just be a quick battery replacement, and then if the machine's been well cared for, you're off to the races for another good few years, getting the most out of that machine. And then the module replacements versus typically 8 to 10 years is when things start to go, or things start to kind of get a little tired on the machine. So engines or the reliability of the machine at the startup in the morning might not be there. With the maintenance-free electric motors, the only thing that will kind of age is the batteries, and that's just that in that 8 to 10 year mark, which is the standard life cycle of the machine.
Maybe I can ask a question myself that was presented to me, both Tanner and Ainsley, yesterday. It actually was. The municipality reached out to me and asked me the question. If our Municipal Bylaw Act specifically says that you have to go to tender or bid process and not through a discount procurement program, is there anything that you can help that municipality out to be able to assist them if they want to use the LAS program to change their and satisfy that municipal, if you will, bylaw act? Is there anything that you folks can suggest in that situation?
Yeah, we can definitely help out with that process to make an amendment to the internal procurement policy or bylaw. We do have examples from other municipalities who have, made changes or additions that we can assist members in using. And definitely we can take a look at the bylaw with them. But yeah, that's definitely something we can help out with on our end to make sure that's included in their internal procurement policy or bylaw.
And we'll work with municipalities as well to make sure that all the other requirements are taken care of. But the only other thing that municipalities need to do before participating in the program is to post a notice of participation on their website. And it just says that the municipality of, insert your name here, participates in cooperative purchasing through LAS. And there's a link to our website. And that's what's required by the trade agreements. And we have wording for that, and we're happy to help out to make sure that that's being done properly.
That's great. Thanks. Hopefully that answered, I think it did answer the question that came forth to me yesterday. So that individual will be able to reach out to you folks and to make that process move forward. Thanks.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, these are all great questions. The next question we have is, with large recreation facilities and year-round operations, is the 8 to 10 year time life cycle still applicable, or is Zamboni noting a reduced life cycle timeline?
If they're referring to battery lithium-ion, I mean, we've only had the lithium-ion in play now for 2 years. So we don't have that experience. We are basing it on our OEM supplier of lithium-ion batteries, utilized in other silo industries, if you will. So does it change and reduce the life cycle timeline? No, it doesn't. I mean, the structure of the machine is still the same. It's what's powering the machine. So it's still maintain that 8 to 10 year life cycle. And I hope that answers your question, Stephen.
Sorry, just to build off on that, Marty, that figure provided from our suppliers is from the forklift industry, and those machines are practically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in warehouses. Our facilities they still operate quite a lot, but it's not the same demand of constant use. We're on the ice for 10, twice an hour, depending on the facility. Maybe if there's 3 pads, or on 3. But in terms of other applications where we're seeing these batteries and our motors put into place, we are on the low end.
Right.
Great. Okay, I think we have another question that just came through here. Our facility has fuel-powered equipment for years. Has had with the push with moving to electric. How can Zamboni help us make the right equipment decision for our next machine?
That's a great question. I know that we have prototypes available where we can actually, if timing works for this individual, we can actually set up a demo where we can bring in the machine for the operators to actually work with it. We've done it. So we've done showcases with our 450 lithium-ion in Ontario as well. And by all means, we'll work with your Parks and Rec division and determine what type of machine is going to work moving into the green initiative, and assist in that process for you. So definitely, we can work that out.
Okay. They also said, what about charging for the Zamboni?
Would he be referring to this individual, referring to charging the actual charger itself of the Zamboni machine, or are we talking dollars and cents?
I believe charging for the machine, but yeah.
Okay.
So they clarify that.
Sure. So the charger is included in the pricing of our both our lithium-ion and our lead acid machines. So thanks, charging of the machine. That's included with the purchase of the machine. The specs of the actual charger, depending on the machine type, we can provide them for electrical requirements, and also all the codes that have to be put in place as far as location of the charger, things like that. And we'll work with them directly. on providing that information if they're to require that information, or if they're going to move ahead and purchase a machine with us.
Typically in the past, we've had a 600-volt three-phase outlet installed in the back room at a location that's best determined. So just having an electrician come in and have that install, the machine and the charger are both ready to come into the facility and perform.
Great. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any other questions that have come through. So, oh, one more just came through just now. If we post a participation of group buying, does that require the municipality to only purchase through group buying, or are there other options to still post RFPs for those of us who have local business councils may prefer, to include the process for everything LES has to offer, not just ice resurfaces? Yeah, so like this, the notice of declaration that we get you to post, it covers if you use, basically for our program, if you use like one of our programs or all of them, it's not specific to one program or the other. And it doesn't eliminate other group GPOs or group buying entities. Like they might have their own regulations, but this is what we ask you guys to post on our end to make sure your trade compliant requirements have been met. But you know, you're not limited to use one GPO versus the other. You can see what works best for you.
And you're able to issue RFPs as well if you would like. It is, the way that I describe it, it's one more store that you're able to shop at. You're not tied to it in any way. It's just another option that's available for your purchasing.
Yep. Good question though. We have another question that came through about how about the service of products? How does Zamboni support the products in the field?
That's a great question. So we do have a full service department, both in-house, and we have a service technician that's on the road. Depending on your location, it will be a turnaround time. It's 24-hour service with a emergency line that if it's after hours, that phone will be answered. And if we need to get to you immediately, we will make arrangements depending on the scenario. The situation could be even troubleshooted via communication, telecommunication, but we'll definitely provide you the service through our service tech that's on the road, or if the machine has to come in-house for something that's major, and we'll provide you a loaner machine until that issue is resolved and have your machine back to you on site.
And then,
great.
sorry.
I think,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, for spare parts orders, I know with that parts need to get to customers as fast as possible. We strive to have same-day shipping if ordered before 3 p.m. Depending where you are within the province, it could be there next day or a few days depending on your location. That is something that we strive for, and we are fully aware that parts are needed, and they're needed now. Downtime for a machine is extraordinarily costly for a facility, and we are fully aware of that and do everything we can to prevent that from happening.
Great. We member said we have a lot of inconsistency between our operators. What can we do to help train our team to properly use the machines?
That's a great question. I think Scott covered part of this off in the presentation. So we have Zamboni on-site training where I'm and Scott as well is involved in this, where we're actually coming on site. We identify what the areas of needs are for the operators of your facility, where the weaknesses are, what needs to be worked on prior to us even coming into the facility. There's an extra questionnaire we send out to you to identify tenure of your operators, experience driving the machine, years driving the machine, what the issues are, so that we can come in and do a complete pre-analysis, if you will, and then focus on those specific areas that need to be focused on. The other resource we have, and I know, Scott, you mentioned this, which we've taken it up a couple notches, is our resource tab on our website. Go to zamboni.com, click on resource tab at the top, a window will drop, and there's videos. I want to say now we have probably 20, 30 videos on our website. We have a full-time digital coordinator that looks after doing all our shoots and all our videos on so many things regarding the machine that operators need to understand. Even fleet departments that do maintenance on the machines, we have that information, those resources available to them. So we do have the resources to be able to provide that training specific to the needs that you're looking for.
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think we have any other questions that came through, unless somebody has any last minute questions, but with that, I think I'll pass it back to Tanner to close things off.
All right. Thank you to everybody who joined us. Thanks to the crew from Zamboni for taking the time to present on this. We're pretty excited with how the program is going so far. Hopefully we'll be able to make the process of getting shiny new ice resurfacers into some marinas in Ontario a little bit quicker and cheaper than it was in the past. As always, feel free to reach out to myself or Ainsley if you have any questions. And we look forward to talking to you again in a couple of weeks with our future webinars. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you kindly, everyone.